dedicated associate nursing professor at Eastern Florida State College, brings 37 years of invaluable nursing experience to her role. With a background that includes various nursing disciplines and a proven track record as a director of nursing, Dr. Brown is a true expert in her field. Her educational journey includes a bachelor's and master's degree in nursing, a master's in health administration, and a doctorate in nursing. Beyond her academic and professional achievements, Dr. Brown volunteers her time to mentor high school students, demonstrating her passion for nurturing the next generation. She credits her personal and professional success to her unwavering Christian faith. With 31 years of marriage and 2 children, Dr. Brown exemplifies a fulfilling work-life balance. In her leisure time, she enjoys gardening and traveling with her family and friends. Let's extend a warm welcome to Dr. Donna Brown.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure. Everyone is looking beautiful. Thank you, Pastor Sabrina. Thank you, Bishop, for this opportunity. I have a few things to share with the women, and thank you, our internet audience, for joining us. First, I believe they're having some issues with the presentation, but before I start, first you must consult. I say consult your physician before making any major changes to your diet. However, some of these are changes I believe that you can do, just small changes. Example, decreasing the salt, decreasing the sugar intake that we take. Until they get that ready, I'm going to continue on. I believe the Lord gave me this topic, and I shared it with Bishop and Pastor Sabrina, that God told me was one day that I was sitting in the service and our wonderful worship team was worshiping, and I heard the Lord say, tell the woman that we must watch what we eat. Okay, we must watch what we eat. And to that effect, I started to do further research. And first, we have to think about, why are we eating the amount of food that we're eating, the volume of food that we're eating? Are you eating because are you hungry? Are you really hungry when you're eating? Are you lonely? Are you stressed? What are the times that we're eating? So we have to think about that. Are we putting more foods in our body that we need to put? Half of the diseases that are occurring are directly related to what we eat. Example, diabetes, right? We know that. Hypertension, we know that, right? Cardiovascular disease, strokes. Strokes doesn't usually just happen. There's just a small, really, population of people to where the stroke is, let's say, genetic. But majority of people, when strokes are happening, it's usually related to what we are eating. Okay, high cholesterol foods. Okay, that is going to clog your arteries and cause a lot of issues. So think of that. Just wanted to share that with you for us to watch what we are eating. Processed foods. Let's think about those processed foods. Does anyone know what I mean when I say processed foods, okay? And you don't eat those. I know you don't. You avoid all of those processed foods. Is it fried? Is it dried? Is it dyed? If it's any of those, you shouldn't be eating it. You want to avoid any of those foods, okay? Fried, dried, or dyed. Are they cooked? How cooked are they? Are they frozen? Are they dehydrated? According to the Centers for Disease Control, CDC, approximately 60% of the calorie and sodium intake of adult Americans is from processed foods. It's from processed foods. So that's a large amount that we need to really think about, and what we're eating, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The amount of foods. In today's busy world, processed foods have emerged as a convenient choice for many. What are we doing? We're sacrificing nutrition for convenience. So we really have to think about that. Your grab-and-go food really should be fruits. Try to always bring something like that. And when they get the presentation going, you'll be able to see. I have some pictures of some foods that we want to avoid. Some of the foods that we want to avoid. Your burgers, your fries, those good things that I know that you love. You want to avoid those. So some examples, I actually have it here. I know you can't see that, but yeah, processed foods. So ultra-processed foods are those that are highly processed with additives and preservatives. Okay, so example, you have the packaged food. If it's on that shelf life is up until next year this time, okay, till summer of 2025. Is that really good for you? Is that really good for you? Should you really be eating something like that? Because what's making it? What's keeping that food that is still good until next year? Okay, it's the preservatives and the additives that's in there. So we really need to really watch those, and the hydrogenated oil and the high fructose and corn syrup. Okay, if those are those ingredients that you see, and usually the first ingredients, those are things that we should really avoid. And again, we can pray, God, I'm going to eat this, and okay. But, you really have to think about it. You really have to think about it and say, do I really need that? Do I really need that much food? Example, pizzas, chicken nuggets, hot dogs, chocolate ice cream, cookies and cakes. All of those are your ultra-processed foods that none of you eat. None of us eat that food. None of us. Because a lot of those foods, and I'm going to be talking more about it, what does it have in it? It has a lot of nitrates and nitrites. Now, a lot of our foods do have that naturally in it, a lot of the greens. However, there are certain foods that have extra nitrates in it, and I know you guys don't know any of these foods. Bacon. Any bacon lovers in the house? Bacon. I know. I love crispy bacon. That's my problem. Help me, Jesus. So you want to avoid that. Bologna. You should not be eating bologna. The things that are found behind the deli counter are foods that you need to avoid. Canned meats. Those deli meats and hams. Hot dogs, which I'm going to talk about briefly, and I hope no one eat hot dogs in here. And pepperoni. Pepperoni that cannot digest in your stomach. You know how long that takes to get out? Long time. Nitrates are compounds that are made from nitrogen and oxygen atoms, and they are commonly found normally in vegetables, your meats, and your drinking water. Some studies show that nitrates can form nitrosamines, which are highly carcinogenic usually in lab animals. They have found that, which is linked to cancers in humans. So we have to really think about that. Just don't grab something. You need to read the labels. What are you eating? Do you really need it? And again, when are you eating? So ham that none of us eat. No, Thanksgiving is coming up. 100 gram serving of cured ham has as little as 1 milligram of nitrates in it. So we're talking about nitrates that is not good for you when it's in cured foods. Bacon has 100 gram of serving of bacon has 5.5 milligrams of nitrates, and that is a high amount. And most people don't eat 1 or 2 strips. Is there any 1 or 2 strips in here? No. Okay. Deli meat is another major source of harmful nitrates. Cured deli meats have less than 0.5 milligram of nitrates. And then we have the ham. What gives it that pink color is normally the additives and preservatives that are put in there, especially your smoked hams. I'm going to talk about hot dogs now. Hot dogs. Hot dogs, there are among the most processed sources of meat on the market, the most processed. source. This is from research, okay? It is the most processed source. What's in a hot dog? Does anybody know? Okay, let me tell you what's in a hot dog. Muscles of beef, pork, chicken, sugar, trimmings of meat. What are the trimmings? That's that's normally discarded. That's the discarded pieces that's in there. Additionally, preservatives, the head, the feet, the liver, the snout, and the lips of the animals. So you really want to try to avoid. I know nobody in here eat hot dog. Okay. Do I need to read it again? Okay. Muscles of beef, pork, chicken, sugar, trimmings of meat. Trimmings. That's what's making up the casing of your hot dog. Head, feet, liver, snout, and lips. You don't want that. Okay, you don't want that. So we want to try to avoid that to the, please, those things are not good for you. What do dietitians say? They recommend a largely plant-based diet. That's usually what we should be eating, largely plant-based diet. Vegetables, whole grains, beans, fruits, nuts, and seeds. That's usually what we should incorporate in our diet more often. We want to go green, try and eat a variety of leafy green vegetables. So I grow a lot of vegetables, and I have it on the video. Hopefully they'll get it working. I grow a lot of different vegetables in the yard, and thank God for my husband. He maintains the fruit trees, okay? So we have a lot of different fruit trees. So 2 days ago, I had for lunch, I had it wasn't smoked, it was Alaskan salmon, and I also had a baked sweet potato, because that's much more healthier than the white potato. That's right, because you guys don't eat that. You only eat the baked sweet potato, right? And then I said, you know what, I want some vegetables to go with this. So I went out in the yard, and some of you may know what this is, and I said, you know what, I have a lot of, it's similar to spinach. It's called callaloo. Does anybody know what callaloo is? Okay. So I went out, I just plucked off some, picked some, sauteed it with a little bit of avocado oil. Took 5 minutes, and that was what I added, and I felt good about that. So you want to be able to feel good about what you eat and be comfortable with that. So always include those plant-based foods and try to eliminate the fats. I also had in the PowerPoint, I wanted to talk to you about the blue zone, people in the blue zone, and how we need to try to make sure that we live longer. We're going to pray to God and ask God for long life and health, but we have to do our part, okay? We have to do our part. We have a part to do. So has anyone ever heard of the blue zone? Yes. Okay, so there's a few people, there's like 4 people, 5, okay, that have heard about the blue zone. So what that is, it is a term that is a non-scientific term for a geographic region that are home to some of the world's oldest people. These people that live in the blue zones, there's actually 5 areas in the world that are blue zones. And this, the term was coined by Dan Buettner, and he is a journalist. He's pretty well known. He's won a lot of awards as well. And he's been on a lot of shows talking about this, and he wrote several books that we're going to be talking about and we're going to be giving away. So we have some books here. And in his book, he talks about the 5 areas, and there's also a Netflix special. So if you have a moment to take a look at it, it's called Live to 100, Secrets of the Blue Zone. So please take a look at that, and you will be surprised. These people that's in this are usually 95 to over 100 years old. And they're in their right mind, okay? They're not bent over or anything like that, and they're alert, they're oriented, cognitively intact, okay? And he believed, and he did a lot of research on this. The reason why that these people live so long is because, why do you think that these people live so long? The diet, right? Diet is one part of it. Also, and again, I don't know if this gentleman is a Christian or not, but I'm going to share with you a few things that he says. He says that they have a sense of purpose. They have a sense of purpose. Every day they wake up, that they have a sense of purpose. They minimize the stress. They do eat very healthy, okay? They either eat a plant-based or a Mediterranean diet, okay? Does not have hot dog in there. There's no hot dog included in that Mediterranean diet. So he has written several books, and we're going to talk about that. People in the blue zone countries live longer due to strong family ties, healthy diet, regular exercise, and respectful treatment of their elders. That's what he wrote in his book. Okay, so that is really a huge part of what need to be included. So the blue zone areas, the first one is Akakarya, Greece. And in Akakarya, it's an island in Greece where people eat a Mediterranean-rich diet. Okay, they eat a Mediterranean-rich diet. Another area is in Sardinia, Italy, home to some of the oldest men in the world. And another area is Okinawa, Japan, and it is home to the world's oldest women, and they eat a soy-based diet. So you'll see that a lot of these it's very similar. All of them are very similar. The other two areas are Peninsula Costa Rica. In that area, they eat more beans and corn tortillas, okay? Again, there is no trimmings of meats or anything like that. Now, a lot of these diets, though, you can eat meat, but it's the portion, okay? It's the portion that you're eating, and also a lot of these studies say the meat should really be not the center of your meal. It should just really be a garnish. Just have it as a small. It shouldn't be meat, all right, and then a little bit of vegetables, right, on the side, right? Big piece of meat in the middle, okay? So we want to use the meat more of a garnish rather than the centerpiece of our diet. So the last area is the Seventh-day Adventist in Loma Linda, California. So that's the one place that is a blue zone area. And these people in Loma Linda, it is the only zone in America to the home of the Seventh-day Adventists, and they follow a biblical diet that is mostly plant-based, including fruits, vegetables, grains, nuts. And they also limit meat. Yay, I think I see the PowerPoint. Show up now. Okay, all right, let me get to that. So diets in the blue zone. Do we have that? No. Oh, you do have it there. Okay, perfect. So so we could start at diets in the blue zone. So what do these people eat? These are an example of what they eat. Their vegetables, their legumes, their whole grains, their nuts. And a lot of them do fast. They fast. So there are times to where, okay, we're going to rest our belly, right? We need to rest it from time to time to where there's not a large amount. So those are the 5 areas. And he also started, Dan Buhner, to do studies in the U.S. In certain areas around to try to get people to change their diet. Change their diet. Change, it's usually in cities that he's going around the country, trying to get them to change the way that we eat. Do we really need the volume of food that we're eating? You know, if you're tired after you eat, that's not normal, okay? You shouldn't really be. I know we joke around and say, oh, I'm so tired. But you shouldn't really be tired. I want to lay down no. You should feel good. In Japan, what they do, they eat 80% until they're 80% full. Okay, so sometimes it's hard to tell, but you just eat a small amount, okay? And it could, a lot of people also eat like several meals a day. You have to see what is best for you. Example, if you're a diabetic, you have to eat small meals to where that you want to maintain your blood sugar. So that's also very important. So these are some of the diets in the blue zone that they follow. Oh, okay. So cores of the blue zone living. What do? They're making, look at that. They make movement a natural part of their day. Okay? So even if you're working and you're sitting at your desk, sure, at your lunch you can get up and walk around the building. A lot of these areas, in these blue zone areas, there's a lot of areas that they can walk. They walk to their friend's house. And these are 100-year-old people. These are 95-year-old. Like I said, if you get a minute, please take a look at that Netflix special. Prioritizing stress relief. Okay, take time for yourself. That's so important to be able to do that. And eating until, again, you're 80% full, not 100%. And connecting with your community, with your friends. That's also important. So he talks more about that, how people connect and make that a priority. And put in family, and again, family does not have to be your blood family. It could be a small group of people that you're identified with as your family. And choosing social circles that support healthy behaviors, right? I know our bishop preached about that many times, right? Healthy behaviors is absolutely important. Okay, we're going to the next one. Oh, what changes? Let's see, what changes can you make? Stop eating hot dog. Let's see, what other changes can you make that will help? You want to have the legumes in your diet, some whole grains. You want to be able to take baby steps. It's going to have to be baby steps, all right? Instead of using a large amount of salt, okay, maybe a little bit. If that may take time to wean yourself off of that, okay? That may take time. Look for more natural ingredients. As you're reading that package, okay, do I really need that? First, you should always start in the fresh fruit aisle. If you're going down those packaged aisle, remember, those things are there on that shelf a long time. And just think of what's in that. All those additives, all those preservatives. Okay, I think of it when I'm ingesting it. Oh my gosh, and if you're eating that on a regular basis, it's going to affect you. Strokes, diabetes, hypertension. It just doesn't happen. There's a reason, okay? And I could tell you 90% of the time, it's because of what you're eating. That's what's causing the diabetes, the strokes, the hypertension, all of that, okay? We see this, it's just too often, and it can be avoided. So the grab-and-go options such as fruits, vegetables, and, they have my fruit up there. We're going to talk about that. And fruits, vegetables, and nuts. Even hard-boiled egg. Usually when I make hard-boiled eggs, I don't eat the yolk. I just make like 2 or 3 and just eat the white part. Because you gotta, first everyone should at least have their labs tests done to know where your numbers are as well. So you should be, make sure that you know where you are as far as, is your cholesterol high? What about your A1C? Your blood sugar levels, all of that. Okay, you should have a baseline of that and at least a few times a year and be able to follow it. Consuming a high fiber diet is an easy way to help avoid any type of GI problems. There are several studies that states that colon cancer is linked to a low fiber diet. So we really have to be careful with the amount of fiber that we can ingest, a large amount of it. So in whole, I want to make sure that I just stress to you guys, you need to change the way that you're eating. And again, I say we. So I'm not speaking to you, without talking to myself as well. Okay, and I try to monitor that on a daily basis. What am I eating? Do I really need that? Okay, I have a sweet tooth, so okay, I may have a little piece of. I'm not going to eat a whole bag of candy, but I may have 1 or 2 pieces, okay? But you have to monitor what you're eating on a daily basis. Monitor what you're eating. Before we do the fruits, go back to the first one. Let's take a look at the books. So these are 3 books that we want to give away. And this, again, is by the gentleman, Dan Buettner. And his, when you get a moment, take a look at his Netflix special, The Blue Zone Solution. In this book, he's talking about eating and living like the world's healthiest people. We want to be able to live like the world and live long, because you have a lot of work to do at Truth Reveal and beyond, okay? So you have to try to live long and healthy. Okay, so what does the oldest woman in Japan eat? Does anyone remember? I think I heard soy over here. Where's my helper? Where's my help? So we're gonna give her 1 book. Thank you, good job, soy. So you want to include that into your diet. You want to include soy into your diet. Okay, ultra-processed foods that we do not eat. Oh, I think I heard this lady on the front row. Ultra-processed foods that we do not eat, because we do not eat ultra-processed foods. Okay, we have 1 more. This one is a great book. 100 Recipes to Live to 100. Please don't let these just sit on your shelf, okay? Please, and collect dust. Open them, okay? Your body always, it gives you signs. It gives you signs. Your body gives you signs to let you know how you're going to, how you feel. You know if you're bloated. You know, you get, your body gives you signs. So please, please, please listen to the signs that your body is giving you. Try to eat healthy. Try to cut out certain things in your diet. Again, I would definitely start with the ultra processed foods. Those could be eliminated. If it's behind the deli counter, you should not be going there. You're gonna walk right by. You're gonna walk right by that. So what food contains the highest number of milligrams of nitrates? What did you say? Which meat? It's hot dog, right? Didn't we talk about hot dog? I think I heard hot dog. Okay, so hot dog, okay? So when you go to the barbecue, you're gonna walk by, okay? There's several stores that have, that sell organic meats. So if you can, one thing that we do is we started to buy organic chicken, okay? So you can buy that. You can buy that. Again, I would stay off a lot, again, consuming a lot of those red meats. Those red meats, I would try to avoid consuming those. Can you go back to the video? I would like to show everyone, and then I have to end, some of the fruits that we grow in our yard. Oh, no, that's not him. That's not it. That
a lot of people do a lot of things in search of a...
Things like smoking and genetics put us at risk for developing different diseases, but neither is the biggest risk factor.
Nutrition is now the #1 cause of early death in the world.
Dr. Stephen Kopetsky says having genes for a disease will increase your risk by 30 to 40%, but having a bad lifestyle for disease will increase your risk by 300 to 400%.
About 57% of the calories we consume every day in this country are ultra-processed foods.
While ultra-processed foods tend to be convenient and cost-effective, they're very inflammatory and can cause a host of health issues over time.
It bothers our tissues, it bothers our heart, it bothers our arteries, our brains, our pancreas, our liver, our lungs, and that leads to disease. It could be in the brain, Alzheimer's, it could be in the heart, it could be coronary artery disease, it could be cancers elsewhere.
The good news is it's never too late to change your eating habits, and no change is too small.
If you take one bite of, say, a processed meat or an ultra-processed food, replace that with some unprocessed food or a healthier choice, you know, vegetables, some black beans, After a year or two, that will actually lower your risk of heart attack and stroke.
For the Mayo Clinic News Network, I'm Dee Dee Steepen.
Okay, very good. Okay. So those are some good takeaways for you. I also had in the video just some pictures of, oh, there it is. There's one. This is from my yard that my husband and I grow. Who knows what that is in the middle? Ackee, right? So first is mangoes. That's just one type of mango. Then ackee, that's a recent picture I took last week. They didn't open up yet, okay? So those are very good to eat as well. And then there's avocados also from our yard. See another picture and the next photo. Okay, so this is also some stuff that we have, basil, oregano, and rosemary. These are you can make tea from that. And next is moringa tree. On the left is passion fruit. That's the flower. That's how it opens up. And then bananas from our yard. I was able to make some banana bread last week, which was awesome. And papaya, and then sorrel. Those that know what that is, you can make a tea from that. So a lot of this, God has given us so much. Okay, it's from the ground. You can grow this. You can grow even if you live in an apartment, you can grow your fruits and vegetables in a pot. So utilize the space that you have. Okay, utilize the space that you have to make sure that you can stay healthy. Okay? All right, so blessings to you all as we expect greater well-being with our health. We need greater well-being. Blessings to you.
All right. So I would like Dr. Brown to address maybe 2 questions from the audience. Do I have 2 people that have a question for Dr. Brown? Let's see. Okay. All right. Hi. And the next question will be on this side.
Good morning, Dr. Brown. My name is Arian Taylor.
Good morning.
And I wanted to know, you mentioned processed foods, and if they stay on the shelf longer than like a year, you can't eat it. But I know a lot of people say to start eating tuna, packaged tuna. What do you think about that? Because that is kind of a healthier option, but it is something that lasts longer on the shelf.
Right, but I would look first at the ingredients that's in there. What are those first ingredients? Is it water? And then as you go further down, those monosaccharides and all those different things that, we're unable to pronounce. So, just take a look at that first and see if that's something that you want to really put into your body, or try something fresh. And then you can freeze, right? You can make something fresh and then freeze it.
Okay, we have another question over here.
Thank you, Dr. Brown. My question is, how do you know when you're 80% full versus 100% full?
Well, I know, that's why I said 80 to 90, you can't tell, but if you start to feel, your body gives you signs, okay? Your body gives you signs. There's times I feel that I'm 110% full, okay? Because I've eaten too much. Your belly, you're gonna feel your belly is stretching. You're gonna feel, it's hard to tell at 80%. That's what a lot of the people in Okinawa, Japan do. But you have to, I would say in general, try not to eat to where you're feeling your stomach is stretching, and then, you're tired and you can't complete the task for the day. Yes.
Okay, let's see. One more. I said 2, but one more. Let's see. We have Tony right here. Is that Tony?
Okay, so my question is, well, first of all, I must admit that I am a bacon addict.
You're making at it.
I just am.
The altar's open.
Yes, I'm working on it, but I am. But my question to you is that the things that are very healthy for you, a person may have an allergic reaction to it, like most all fruit. Fruit is very acidic. Tomatoes are acidic. You know, there are so many things that are acidic. It's hard to get the daily, vitamins that you need from things that you are allergic to. So what is your...
I would say first you would have to see a nutritionist, and also an allergist. If you know that there are several acidic, there's foods, it may be, watermelon is not acidic, but your other fruits are, right? Your oranges, your lime, your lemon. But I would try to see either allergist or a nutritionist so that you can narrow it down as to what you can and cannot eat. Example, there's mangoes. There's so many different types of mangoes. I know individuals that can only, they can eat one type of mango, but others that they can't. So you have to know, again, knowing your body and knowing what you can and cannot eat. And again, you want to try to maintain your weight. And it's going to affect, I'm telling you, it does affect you cognitively. Why are these people living into their hundreds, 100 years old or 98, and still in their right mind? Right? There's a reason why there's so many of them, and it's diet. It's the diet that plays a good part of that.
Okay, one more. This young lady right here, I nodded at her.
Hi.
I have rheumatoid arthritis, and the goal
I'm sorry,
is
you have what?
Rheumatoid arthritis,
Okay.
all right? So the goal is to maintain the body without inflammation, reduce the activity of the disease.
Yes.
One of the big things with RA is being able to eat healthy so you will allow your body not to have so much inflammation.
Yeah, correct.
And pain. But in those moments that you have or that I have a flare-up, even though I'm trying to eat healthy, there's the issue of the medication. The medication is extremely poisonous for the body. So what little strategies can you give me for those moments in which I'm really in...
when you're in that flare-up stage?
Right, exactly.
Right.
To counteract the medication's poison, let's put it that way.
Well, I'm gonna, because I don't know all the meds for RA that you take, but inflammation is a big one that does occur with that. But you have to speak to your physician first and see. And again, knowing your body. Sometimes you can tell when that flare-up is coming on. Okay, is there things that I need to do? Do I need to increase my water intake? Do I need to watch what I'm eating leading up to that? Okay, what is it? The additives, the preservatives in that food. Some of those may also affect that. Okay.
Okay, you all. So this is wonderful. Dr. Brown, this is so powerful. What we will do is, if we have a little bit more time, we'll answer a couple of more questions, because I knew this health and wellness section was going to prompt a whole lot of questions. And we want to present a holistic ministry here at Truth Reveal and Awaken, because we are spirit, soul, and what? Body. Spirit, soul, and body. And one of the things that we have did in the Christian community is to play down the body. And what we eat, we just say, I'm going to bless it in Jesus' name, and God's going to take out all the impurities and additives. No, you're going to take that out with your fork. You're going to control that with your fork. I've been in the church a long time, and we just play down certain things. And I believe that there is power in education. You know, even the word of God, my people perish for lack of knowledge. And so when you hear it, now you're responsible to do something about it. Because God is for you, ladies. That's what you got to know. God is for you. He wants us to be well. And so again, I just appreciate Dr. Brown for this presentation. And again, like I said, at the end of our day, if we have some space, we're gonna take some more questions. But we're gonna take a break now, and let's see, we got some more gifts we're gonna give away. So give away gifts, and we're gonna take a break. Thank you so much, Dr. Brown. We bless you. Follow suit. Listen to that Netflix document.
Stay connected by following us on your favorite social media platform and subscribing to the official Truth Revealed YouTube channel. Again, we thank you for your continued generosity and for investing your time and resources at Truth Revealed. God loves you, and so do we.